Hello friends, welcome to our podcast. Let's begin the Wealth Mindset, Lessons from Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Welcome back. Today, we're diving into a book that didn't just change my perspective on money. It flipped the script on everything we were taught in school. We are talking about Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad Poor Dad. Imagine growing up with two fathers. One is highly educated, has a PhD, and holds a prestigious government job. He says, study hard so you can find a good company to work for. This is the poor dad. The other father didn't even finish 8th grade, but he's a self-made millionaire. He says, study hard so you can find a good company to buy. This is the rich dad. This isn't just a book about real estate or stocks. It's a book about the stories we tell ourselves about money. Let's break down the core pillars of this financial classic. Topic 1. The rat race is a central theme in Robert Kiyosaki's financial philosophy, describing a self-perpetuating cycle of working for money to pay for an ever-increasing lifestyle. The cycle of the rat race. Most people follow a traditional, predictable path. Education to employment. Individuals study hard to secure a stable job and begin earning a steady paycheck. Income and expense growth. As their income rises through raises or promotions, their expenses typically rise alongside it. The lifestyle trap. To reflect their higher status, they buy a larger house or a faster car. Increased dependency. This leads to a situation where they must work even harder just to maintain and pay for the things they already own. The emotional drivers. Fear and greed. Kiyosaki teaches that the lives of the poor and middle class are often governed by two powerful emotions. Fear. The constant fear of not having enough money or falling behind keeps people tethered to jobs they may dislike or even hate. Greed. Once a paycheck is received, the desire for instant gratification, greed, drives them to spend that money on stuff, often liabilities, the moment it arrives. The difference in mindset. The primary distinction between the rich and those trapped in the rat race lies in how they view labor and capital. Poor and middle class. They focus their energy on working for money and chasing a bigger paycheck. The rich, they do not work for money. Instead, they make money work for them. They prioritize finding and building assets that generate income, rather than just increasing their earned income. Topic 2. In Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki argues that the primary reason people struggle financially is that they don't know the difference between an asset and a liability. This distinction is what he calls the golden rule of financial literacy. The simple definition. Why traditional accounting might define an asset as something you own, Kiyosaki uses a cash flow-based definition to simplify decision-making. Asset. Something that puts money into your pocket. Liability. Something that takes money out of your pocket. The house debate. One of the most controversial points in the book is the classification of a primary residence. Why it's usually a liability. For most people, their home is a constant drain on their finances through mortgage payments, property taxes, insurance, and maintenance costs. Because it takes money out of your pocket every month without providing a return, Kiyosaki labels it a liability. The asset alternative. If you buy a property and rent it out, and the rental income exceeds the mortgage and maintenance costs, that same type of property becomes an asset because it generates positive cash flow. The cash flow patterns. Understanding how money moves is the key to identifying which column you are building. The poor middle class pattern. They earn a paycheck and immediately spend it on liabilities that they believe are assets, like cars, electronics, or expensive homes. This creates a rat race, where they must work harder to pay for the mounting expenses of their lifestyle. The rich pattern. They focus their time and energy on building a column of assets. This includes stocks and bonds, which pay dividends or interest. Real estate, that generates rental income. Intellectual property, such as books or music that pay royalties. Businesses, that do not require your physical presence to operate. The path to true freedom. Financial independence is reached at the moment your asset column generates enough passive income to cover all of your monthly expenses. At this stage, you no longer need to work for a salary. Your money is working for you, providing the freedom to choose how you spend your time. The rich continue to reinvest the surplus from their assets back into more assets, which is why the wealthy continue to get wealthier. Topi 3. Mind your own business. There's a great story in the book about the founder of McDonald's, Ray Kroc. He once asked a group of MBA students, "What business am I in?" They laughed and said, "Hamburgers." Kroc replied, "No, I'm in the real estate business." He understood that while his profession was selling burgers, his business was the land underneath every restaurant. Kiyosaki urges us to mind our own business. Your profession pays the bills, but your business is what makes you wealthy. Stop spending your life building someone else's empire. Start building your own asset column on the side. Topic 4. Overcoming the 5 hurdles. Host, even if you have the knowledge, why do most people still fail to get rich? Kiyosaki points to 5 hurdles. Fear. Most people are so afraid of losing that they lose. Cynicism. The "what if the economy crashes" mindset. Laziness. Not the doing nothing kind, but being too busy to manage your wealth. Bad habits. Specifically, the habit of paying the government and the banks before paying yourself. Arrogance. Thinking you know everything when you're actually losing money. The solution? Invest in your greatest asset first, your mind. Learn how to manage cash flow, learn how systems work, and learn how to lead people. Ultimately, Rich Dad Poor Dad is a call to take responsibility. It's easy to blame the boss, the government, or the economy for our financial situation, but the power lies in our choices. Every dollar that comes into your hand is a seed. You can choose to spend it, or you can choose to plant it. What's one asset you can start building this month? Maybe it's a small side project, a new skill, or your first investment. Let me know in the comments or send me a message. Thanks for listening. Keep learning, keep growing, and I'll see you in the next episode.